going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? I'm doing well, thank you for asking. Body beat down here on this Monday morning, 8:51 in the a.m. As a matter of fact, happy President's Day. I guess it's a day. I don't know if it's much to celebrate, but yeah, happy President's Day. So, anyway, I have a couple of topics I want to talk about. And one of them I want to bring up because it's something that I noticed that one of the guys I'm subscribed to, he puts a lot of importance on. And I'm not saying he's wrong. My God, believe me, he's not wrong. He's awesome. He's strong. He works out literally every day and does some crazy, amazing things. I'll give him a shout out right now. Spencer Graziano. A lot of you that watch my channel probably know him. But this is going to kind of go along with his live stream. I think that it was last night that I kind of popped in, and there was a topic that popped up about like a body weight and how much you move. And just kind of want to touch base on that. Just my stupid, uneducated thoughts and opinions on it. It doesn't really mean much. It's just kind of my opinions on it. And we're going to touch on another topic that's super quick and easy to get out of the way. So we might do this one first. A lot of times on these, on our videos that we post, we'll get somebody, that'll say like, dude, you should have a spotter. Or we'll get a comment that gives us a good compliment, but then at the same time, but I'd sure like to see you with a spotter, for safety and all that. So I think what people get confused with is they're not looking at the whole picture of what's going on. A spotter is a person that goes and spots people. Let's just take bench press for instance. We could talk about everything, but let's just go with bench press because that's what most people talk about. You got somebody behind the guy that's bench pressing, and a spotter, technically a spotter is there to help with the lift off and maybe to help pull back into the uprights or the J hooks or whatever it is you're benching into. That's kind of what a spotter's job is. Also, a spotter's job is if you don't have safeties in place, a spotter can help save you on a failed lift if you don't have safeties. So that's kind of a job of a spotter. Now, safeties, if people will look at what people are doing, a lot of times you have, just your standard typical bench, and they'll have some little safeties popping out. Or you'll have maybe a 2-post rack, and there'll be safeties. Or, these safety arms that are sticking out there, you can see them clearly. Or if you're bench pressing inside of a cage, like I've got, you have these safety pins. Sometimes it's a nylon strap or whatever. But the job of these safety arms and these safeties and the safety pins is to take place of a spotter if you needed a spot, on a failed lift. That's what these safeties are for, and it's like people don't either know that or they don't see them, or a combination of everything. I'm not real sure, but you'll see comments all the time. Man, you ought to have safeties. You got a death wish. You should be using safeties or a spotter or something. They'll even say safeties, and you literally have safeties there. So I'm not sure if people know exactly what they're talking about, but and then on top of that, you got people that don't use safeties or spotters or anybody at all. I've been there. I was, for a long time when I had my 2-post rack, I didn't have safeties for it because they broke. Because I'm so strong that the weights just broke the safeties. I'm not kidding, but I'm playing around. cheap safeties, they break. They break kind of easy. So anyway, I ended up not having safeties. But I still have to bench. I still have to do these things whether or not I have safeties or not. See, we're not in a commercial gym of some sort where we have people there to help all the time, or even better equipment sometimes. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And in those situations, the best case scenario for you is to not put any collars or anything on the ends of your bar. That way, if you do fail, you can at least tip the bar and get the weights off, and it's going to be a loud, crazy mess, but it's better than, letting the weight sit on you and kill you. So you can dump the weights, and it's going to sling the bar up and make some noise and be horrible, but it's better than dying. So just pay attention when you're watching people work out, and you'll see a lot of times people have safeties in the on their bench or on their 2-post racks, and all the time just about you'll see safeties of some kind in a full cage. So spotters and safeties go hand in hand. They're kind of different, they're kind of the same. It just depends on the job and the situation. So wanted to get that out of the way. Dang, that took longer to talk about than I thought. I need some French vanilla coffee. Yum. Now, let's talk about the controversial topic that we'll be talking about here. And again, I'm just going by my opinions, my thought process. I'm not some guru, some studied, some person who studies these things. It's just my opinion. I can be swayed one way or the other if I'm given the proper information, maybe to make me sway one way or the other. So it's just my humble thoughts and opinions. Like, this is what I think. So, and I don't know how to kind of get into it properly, maybe, but we'll just start like this. You notice a lot of times when you do lifts, let's just use the 3 main lifts, even though I think there's 4. Let's use the 3 main lifts: squat, bench press, deadlift. Some of the first questions that people are always going to ask you is, well, outside of, are those fake weights? Are you on steroids? Are you on TRT? Are you this? Are you faking? Is this AI? Outside of that stupid stuff, some of the first things that people are going to talk about are, what's your body weight? Well, okay, I don't know my body weight. Right now I know I don't go above 280, and I'm probably not below 275. So I'm somewhere in that area. But a lot of times people get really hung up on body weight, when, in my humble opinion, it should be body shape. Let me explain. You can be a 200-pound guy, and depending on your build, you could be a 200-pound guy, which is very light in my opinion, 200 pounds, and have a chest this big, and still have a gut this big, and still be only 200 pounds. Now, if your chest is out to here and your arms are this long, well, how far are you moving when you bench press? You're not moving very far when you bench press. We're not taking weight into account. We're taking how you're built, your body mechanics. So if your chest is out here and you're bench pressing and you're doing 405 pounds and you're only going down like a foot, is that as impressive just because you're 200 pounds? More so than, say, myself at 280, when my chest is way down here and my arms are having to move 2 feet for the same movement and the same weight? I mean, maybe I'm off here. Maybe I'm not seeing everything completely straight. as a lot of people do, because I'm probably in the minority. A lot of people look at weight as very important, where I look at body shape and body mechanics and such. Uh, I'm different. I guess I'm different. I'm in the minority. So, and then let's look at say deadlifts. Some people that deadlift, again, 180 pounds, 200 pounds, and they're tiny compared to, say, someone like myself, but they're lifting what I can lift, if not more than what I can lift. And some of that sometimes comes down to just people are stronger than other people. That's just the way it is, and I've talked about that 100 times. We're not all the same. Everybody's different. And also some of that also can come down to your structure, your body structure. Just like with the bench press, if your chest is out here and your belly's out here and you're moving your arm a foot. Same thing can be for a deadlift. You got some guys that are kind of short torso or maybe short leg, and their arms look like they're going down way past their knees or to their knees when they're standing straight up. These guys have the mechanics and the body structure to deadlift. That don't mean there's not, I'm going to use normal in quotations, normal built guys, say like myself, who can't do the same weight or more. But I'm just saying that people are built different to move, and move these kind of weights. And a lot of times your body structure will determine how well you can do at some of these lifts. And we'll take squats for instance. Some guys have longer shins, longer femurs, or whatever these are called, your legs, your upper part, your backs are different, your torsos, your range of motion, like your glutes, just everything, everything is just totally different. And again, you could have a 200-pound guy out squatting a 280-pound guy because of how they're built, and also just naturally just stronger. So, you look at me, you might look at someone like myself who's 280 pounds, 6'2", and my max squat is 460. Now I wanted to say only 460, but 460 is a lot of weight to have on your shoulder and squat down and come back up. But, compared to a lot of people, that's nothing. People are doing that with front squats, back squats, zerchers, everything. And they're smaller than me. So, in my opinion, weight just don't play a whole lot of importance. Where I think weight plays a big importance is in, say, football. If you're a 350-pound guy and you're running through the line, you're going to knock people over and knock them away quicker than this 180-pound quarterback or whatever they are. I don't follow football. I don't really care for it. But you know what I'm saying? So weight has momentum, and the motion. What's the theory? An object in motion stays in motion, or something like that. I can see mass taking out people. Keep moving forward more so than I can see mass playing as huge a role in moving weights. Now, I can see things changing once you get into like bigger, crazier weights. Maybe things change. But again, for me, 405 and down is obtainable weight for the majority of people. So we'll stay about 405 down. And, like I've said, I see people all day long who weigh less than me, who are taller than me, who are shorter than me, who are younger than me, who are older than me, moving these kind of weights and moving heavier weights, or maybe, just moving exactly what I'm moving, or maybe they're moving a little less, but they're doing a lot more reps. everyone's different in every aspect of our bodies. We're all different. And our minds, our way of thinking, and our mind frame, our mindset that we get in whenever we start doing these things. So there's a lot to consider, in my humble opinion, more than just a person's weight. And I know I'm going to get some comments, and I'm not going to be able to dig into these comments too deep because I don't overthink things. As I've mentioned before in my videos, I just lift weights. I've never thought about anything, ever. All the way from the 90s to the 2000s to the time I quit in 2011, or the end of 2010, somewhere in there, to when I started back in 2021. I never put any real thought or limitations or any of these kind of things on myself. It's always just been, well, I'm going to work out. And I think that's what separates people like me from those that kind of look more into the science of it, or I guess that's science, I don't know. They try to dig so deep into the activity that you're doing that you kind of miss out on just the basics of it. Like, we're moving weight, or we're running X amount of distance, or X amount of miles per hour, or we're doing this or doing that. We're swimming this fast at this distance, or what have you. So there's probably swimmers out there that that kind of break the mold because they don't look like your typical swimmer that's all tall and slender and lean and mean. They might be a little bit shorter and bulkier, or maybe they're a little bit tall but they're still got some bulk to them, and maybe they're able to keep up or beat people that are your typical average swimmer physiques. So how do you explain these things? I don't know. Like I said, we're all different. So and again, man, I know people take things wrong on the internet and things get twisted up and everything. This is not anything towards Spencer. Spencer knows that I really like him. I really appreciate him. I respect him. I think he's amazing. I wouldn't watch his channel and support him all this time if I didn't think so. It's just something that came up in the live conversation, and it's things that I've heard him mention almost every single video he puts out of how much he weighs. And so it gets me to thinking, which is what's good about these channels. They make you think. So this is not a dig at you, Spencer. Please don't think it is. I love you to death, and I appreciate you for what you put out and what you're continuing to do, and the time that you might give me on my channel. So this isn't really about you, Spencer. It's just more about the topic that I see, and it's not just on your channel. It's, randomly you'll see it. Well, they're this weight and they're moving this and that weight. Like a lot of times you'll go through these channels and it's called like Lifter's Vault or something like that, and they just show like quick videos and you got a guy narrating. And a lot of times in the comments you'll scroll through there and you'll see people, yeah, but he's like 800 pounds, of course he should be able to do this, or he's 500 pounds, he should be able to do that, or but then what about the people that are 200 pounds and they're doing this, and they might even be doing this the same as them 500 pound guys? So how do you explain that? Again, we're all different. We all have different strength levels, and we're all driven differently. But anyway, that's me trying to touch on a couple of topics there. I'm sure I'm going to get some crazy comments. I hope not. Hope everybody can just kind of see what I'm trying to say and know that it's not a dig on anyone, or it's not me saying that I'm right and you're wrong. It's just thoughts and opinions on these things. Sorry, my mouth is getting dry, which means I need more. French vanilla coffee. Gosh darn it. Anyway, so if you guys find this kind of interesting, try to have decent civil conversation down there in the comments. I'd like to know everybody's thoughts and opinions. And again, I don't expect to be right on everything I talk about. We all just kind of have our own thoughts and opinions. If you can kind of sway me one way or the other, what have you, in your comments, that's good. I'll let you know. I'm not hard-headed when it comes to these things. I don't mind learning, and I don't mind different opinions on stuff, and kind of figuring these things out because it's interesting. The human body and the human mind and everything has always been interesting to me, and how we're all the same, but we're completely, absolutely different. So, guys, maybe like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff to the Body Beatdown. That's me, Michael, your incredible host on this Monday morning. I've been going for a while now. Oh my gosh, this is a long video. You ain't even gonna watch it. Guys, like, share, subscribe, comment. Get up, get out, get red. Do it to it. I get lost on these things. I done got lost again. Where was I? Get up, get out, get red. Do it to it. And we'll see you next time on the Body Beatdown, which will be this afternoon whenever I work out. See y'all later.
Get up, get out, get red, and do it to it!